see here for a minute. I'm here. I'm currently live streaming. So it's currently going. All right. Wouldn't you think? No, I'm on your channel. You're on your normal. Okay, there you are, live now. All right, hang on. I'm up. All right. Okay. Yes, I see you. Yes. All right. I can see you. I can hear you on the phone, and I just muted your live stream, so I'm not hearing that in my ear. I'm working on it here. Hang on. And Aya, by the way, your camera is the correct orientation. Yeah, is that your monitor that I'm sort of seeing there on the edge of the screen? Now, are you seeing a live stream from Julia? Yeah, I don't think she started it yet. Hey, this whole thing is all sorts of confusing. Yeah. I always imagined when we did this, I would have my Vacuum County shirt on and all kinds of stuff. And right. Let's see. Did she? Okay, I still not seen anything from Julia, but she did at least see. She saw the Facebook message. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, she says she's trying to find us. I'm going to send her the links to our channels here. Right, and I don't think you need to. I mean, I just think that's going to be a big bandwidth drain. think so. But yeah. Your flower. No, I don't see your flower. Oh, yes. Lovely. Nice. Those are pretty. Oh, here. She just posted on the live chat for your stream saying, I am live. Let me refresh her window. Let's see here. I am not seeing it yet. Because for both mine and yours, when it came up, I just was on your channel, and yeah. Okay. I'm not seeing your live stream, Julia. That's the one she commented from. But that doesn't, you hit unlisted. Ah, well that would, yeah. She's fixing it. She's commenting, let me see. All right, so she's commenting on the live chat for your live stream currently. Okay, yeah, I understand. This is kind of a three-ring circus here. So I have one of those times when I'm using 3 of my 4 monitors to keep track of stuff. Okay. In this case, yes. Okay, from this angle, I can't see your table, but okay, now she says she's live. So let me refresh this. Okay, live now. All right. She's wearing her glasses, it looks like. Okay, I see her live stream now. All right. Yeah, if you refresh her channel and go to the the home page on her channel, you should see it. I'm watching you. That's probably who you're seeing. All right. If you can make that. All right. Can you hear me? Julia, can you hear me through Aya's phone? I think you've got it on the wrong end, Aya. Let me try putting a comment. Okay. All right. All right. Can you see my comment? I'm putting a comment on Julia's live stream. I'm breaking up. Oh. All right. My channel. It's typing. All right. So I can see on hers it says 2 watching now, which means that's you and me. Yeah. Yeah, that was not it. Well, you should just be able to go instead of. All right, instead of going to my videos, go to my home tab of the channel. There'll be a lot to edit out at the beginning of this. How would you be hearing me, Aya, through your earphone? I don't know. I might have too many different streams going on, because all of this is going through my computer. I mean, I can still hear you just fine. I'm breaking up really bad. Here, let me try calling you from my cell. Hang on 1 second. Hey, Aya, can you hear me? I try. Can you hear me, Julia? All right. Hello. Oh, well, Aya, I saw you said I was breaking up really bad over the phone, so I thought I'd try calling from the cell. So we'll try. I'll try talking to you this way. No, Julia, I'm not hearing an echo. So I'm hearing Julia in my right ear and Aya in my left ear. So let's give this a shot. All right. So I guess Julia, do you want to kick us off? No, I think it's your show. So you start firing questions, and we'll see what we can do. Well, my favorite part was just figuring out the whole creation experience. Yeah. Um, I think it was mostly just the creative process of just figuring out, who the characters were, what were their, motivations, and then working with Aya was just a joy to, you know, she knew the characters, I was getting to know the characters, and she was able to give me insights into how a character might react a little bit better than what I was seeing as I, experienced. Because I actually read the book, narrated the book as I was reading the book, so it was fresh to me. It's it's just one of those delay things we're going to have to deal with this. Just kind of there'll be a little bit of pause, and hopefully you can kind of edit some of that out later on. Um, Aya, you said which character did I find most challenging? Um, initially, initially it was probably Nabal. Um, it took a while for me to kind of get inside his head. By the end of the book, he was definitely my favorite character to read. So go ahead, Julia. Yeah, because Aya and I are on the phone, so we hear each other live. Um, as we do this, no, it's okay. Hey, yeah, you're the delayed one. Well, he's very, very different from I am, from how I am personally, and the way he looks at things, the way he looks at life, property, um, possessions, his role in the community and stuff. He's at a very somewhat, I would say, somewhat bitter place at the beginning of the book, and he might not realize it as at the time, but kind of, he also doesn't have a lot of screen time, so to speak, at the beginning. So there's very meager pickings with which to kind of feel where he's going. So Aya's insights into that was very, very helpful, because the few sentences we get every couple chapters from him in the first 5 or 6 chapters is not a lot to go on. And it was really fun to kind of tease out why he's thinking the way he's thinking. No. Well, Aya, do you wanna take this one? Because it's I'm curious if we have different answers. Yes. I was going to say that Verity is probably the second most character. Well, from the perspective of not spoiling the book, her role in the book is the outside observer that is not initially part of the story at all, who gets dropped into the situation and is just like the reader, has no idea who these people are, why they act the way they are, what are they doing. They are completely foreign in their motivations and their actions to anything she's ever experienced. And she's someone who considers herself well-educated, well-traveled, well-read, and these people are acting in ways that are beyond any understanding she has. They have reasons and motivations for their actions, but it's something she has no clue. It takes her probably at least past halfway through the book, I'd say, before she really starts to get what's going on. Well, they are both heavily inspired, I guess you'd say, by the biblical accounts of both Saul and David. They are also most definitely not the same characters as the biblical stories. So I want to be clear that while there are definitely a lot of allegorical elements to it, it's not a present day rendition of the story of Saul and David. It's definitely a I'm blanking out on the word right now. It's been a long day. I've been down in the basement painting and pulling up tiles for the house renovation project. Yeah. Yeah. She upsets the apple cart. Yeah. Very much like time travel stories. you, you know, yeah, I wouldn't classify it as sci-fi, but if you if you enjoy alternate universe stuff, if you enjoy sci-fi, I think there's a good chance you might enjoy Vacuum County. If you like Westworld, HBO series Westworld, there was also the movie from when was it? Early 70s, I think. I've never seen it. Confession. Um, but if you like Westworld, I think there's a good chance that Vacuum County might resonate with you. So yeah, I'd say that there's parallels, even though Vacuum County is not sci-fi at all. Well, my impression is that it's a fascinating character study on people in and of themselves. People are people are messy. People make mistakes. People do good things. People do bad things, and um, and with it being set in a somewhat relatable but also somewhat foreign subculture, um, I think that it's something that people, they might the first few chapters might be a little dry or a little slow getting into it, but it really sets the scene for these people, their struggle, their triumphs. I mean, everybody's got a story, and by the end of the book, there's all these different characters that you're cheering or groaning about, and there's no. It's fascinating to me that it's one of those stories where there's no clear good guy, there's no clear bad guy. It doesn't follow any of the typical, you know, normal fiction tropes where you've got, this guy is clearly the villain and this guy is clearly the hero. Uh, everybody is dealing with their own motivations, and sometimes those motivations align to that their actions would be considered, a good or an altruistic action. Sometimes they might be seen by the general population as selfish, um, which I venture is probably very similar to how human beings act in general. Hmm. Yeah, there's some really good history of the southwest region of the United States, northern Mexico. The history of that's kind of a bit of a spoiler, I would say. I don't know. I don't think there's a ton you can say about that. I might be able to wiggle something out. Hmm. Yeah. Well, yes, the Libertarian Party in general is definitely going through a little bit of turmoil at the moment, but the idea of self ownership, that people need to be responsible for their own actions and to not be relying on and you don't even have to say the government and make the government the boogeyman, but people need to take responsibility for their own lives and not be blaming other people if things don't go the way they want. It's just in a nutshell, that's really what libertarianism boils down to. And, there's obviously plenty of people that will like to, extemporize on that, but at its core, that's a central tenet of the book, that people are responsible for their own actions, and what they do with that is up to them. Yeah. One thing, if I can interject, kind of just about the process of. Sure, sure. Well, I was going to something that Aya said earlier, kind of about the characters and what they would think of libertarianism, kind of made me think. Getting back to a little bit about the different characters in the book, um, there's a couple different characters they're fairly minor characters, but they have some pretty fascinating stories, that were really interesting to read. But I think in the process of turning them into the Audible book, they kind of really took on a life of their own. At least for me, if you do read the book and listen to it on Audible, be on the lookout for Randy Tander, who was a lot of fun to do the voice for. And another one was Lou Ann, who also had a very, very difficult life and has a very, very interesting philosophy. So both of them were just a joy to narrate. Oh, thanks. Absolutely. And you can say, um, one of the problems, like with the internet and social media and everything. Right. It's not the same thing though as putting your head in the sand though. Um, so with the internet and social media and everything, there is such an advent for everybody to know what's going on everywhere at all times. And while it's amazing and awesome that we can do stuff like have video calls with people, all over the world, I think it can be a little bit of a distraction, especially with the news channels, with people are getting too involved in what happens at the national level, and that distracts from what happens in your own community, what happens in your city, in your county, in your neighborhood. Are we losing the connection we have with our fellow person, with our next door neighbor? I don't know if that answers the question. You can take that if you would like. Yeah, agreed. I think religious freedom and religious persecution are something that, yeah, it does have a very interesting opening section, and not you're really not sure. No, no, you're fine. It's fine. It's with the delay. We just do the best we can. But well, I was saying about religious freedom. I think just about every religion on this planet has been persecuted by another religion at some point throughout history. And religion is one of those things where it has been both the cause of much coming together, much sense of building community. It's also been the cause of much destruction and death. I and I think that the book kind of addresses that. It may not necessarily address it in the way that someone might expect, but it's in there. Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I'm still here. Yes. I didn't have anything to add because I agree. Yeah, I think that right. Whether somebody's religious or not, they should have an if they can have an appreciation for literature and go ahead. Mhm. I mean, it can. I think it could cause a revival in interest in as literature, and an interest if you come from a Christian background, you may read that and be like, boy, I don't remember some of that stuff in there, and it might cause them to reread it. You know, based on stories they remember from going to Sunday school. Um, I think where people come from and where they're going, um, I think the book can appeal to them either way. I mean, some people I expect will really enjoy it. Some may feel like they need to go look up something in the Bible or the reference when they get to certain parts and say, well, that wasn't how I remembered it. But always just remember that it's like I said, an alternate universe, alternate time period, retelling of the story. So not all the characters die or live at the same time. I'm sure there are. Sure. Yes, it does. Uh, sure, Sure. Hey, I'll encourage people to go to Aya's YouTube channel and watch her video on how you can get it. But also, just really briefly, you go to, they can watch the video, but if they want to go to audible.com, search for Vacuum County. If they've never had an Audible account, they can go in and say that they want to sign up for a trial subscription. It will ask them for their credit card, but it won't charge them anything until the end of the first month of membership. Upon completing the sign up, they will be eligible to add Vacuum County to their cart as their first free selection. If all they want is to listen to Vacuum County and they don't want to continue to have an Audible membership, they can cancel the Audible subscription anytime in the first month. After that, their download or their cloud account of Audible will always have Vacuum County in it, and they can either install the Audible app on their phone or their tablet or their computer. Or if you have a computer, you can just go to the Audible website and stream it directly off the website, and you don't have to download it at all. It's really, Audible has really come a long way in the past 10 years. I've kind of had a on-again, off-again membership with them, and it's so much easier to do it now than it was when I first had it. That being said, if you already do have an Audible account, and are still interested in getting Vacuum County possibly for free, message IRI and we might be able to hook you up with a free copy, depending on how many free licenses we have still. Yes, please. Oh, thank you very much. Well, thank you. Well, we appreciate you doing the interview and supporting the work. Oh, thank you. Yes, the Weird Al cover of White and Nerdy was right up my street. Well, I would just like to say thank you, Julia, for taking the time out to talk to us about it, and thank you, Aya, for all the. I mean, you wrote Vacuum County. Yeah. Well, yeah. we'll need to keep working on figuring out how to get technology to work so we can make this a little more smooth. Okay. All right. Well, yours, okay, yours says live stream off stream. Oh, yeah.